In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on April 4th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best bet single picks, best bet parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. New York Mets versus Milwaukee Brewers. The New York Mets will play the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 2 of their series on Tuesday night at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The New York Mets are 3-2 this season after they lost Game 1 of this series by a score of 10-0 on Monday. New York won 3 out of 4 games in their first series against Miami. The New York pitching staff has a 3.77 earned run average, a 1.35 WHIP, and a .242 opponent batting average this year. The Mets offense has scored 17 runs with a .201 batting average and a .323 on-base percentage. Mark Canha is batting .235 with 1 home run and 2 RBIs for the Mets. The projected starting pitcher for New York is Max Scherzer, who is 1-0 with a 4.5 earned run average and a 1 WHIP over 6 innings pitched this season. The Milwaukee Brewers are 3-1 this season after they won Game 1 of this series. Milwaukee won 2 out of 3 games in their series against the Cubs to open the season. The Milwaukee pitching staff has a 2.57 earned run average, a 1.09 WHIP, and a .187 opponent batting average. The Brewers offense has scored 22 runs with a .250 batting average and a .354 on-base percentage. Bryce Terang is batting .500 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs for the Brewers. The projected starting pitcher for Milwaukee is Wade Miley, who was 2-2 with a 3.16 earned run average and a 1.22 WHIP last year. New York is 5-11 in their last 16 Tuesday games and 1-7 in their last 8 games against a team with a winning record. The over is 5-2 in New York's last 7 Game 2s of a series. Milwaukee is 5-0 in their last 5 Game 2s of a series and 2-5 in their last 7 Tuesday games. The under is 12-2 in Milwaukee's last 14 Game 2s of a series. The over is 6-1 in these 2 teams' last 7 head-to-head meetings. New York will try to bounce back in this game after losing by 10 runs on Monday afternoon, and they will turn to Max Scherzer to try and get the win. Milwaukee has scored 19 runs in their last 2 games, and they have won 3 games in a row. The Mets have their ace on the mound in this game, and I don't think Wade Miley is going to be able to keep pace. We're getting Max Scherzer at a reasonable price, and he was solid in his season opener outside of 1 mistake. Wade Miley pitched in just 9 games last year, and it's hard to back him until he proves again he's capable of being a quality back of the rotation guy. You can argue the Mets should be bigger favorites with an ace on the hill, so the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus Kansas City Royals. The Toronto Blue Jays come into 2023 full of expectations that have been building for a number of years now. But after 3 straight losses, they will want to get rolling against the Kansas City Royals, who were swept in their first series before getting on the board on Monday in their first game against Toronto. These teams contrast each other well, as the strength of the Royals is their pitching staff, while the Blue Jays famously have one of the best offensive groups in the entire MLB. So after a fun matchup on Monday, we could be in for another fantastic contest. The Blue Jays are 18-7 in their last 25 on grass and 20-9 in their last 29 road games. Toronto is 5-16 in their last 21 versus a lefty starter. Meanwhile, the Royals are 17-37 in their last 54 versus the American League East and 16-35 in their last 51 in Game 2 of a series. Kansas City is 5-18 in their last 23 Tuesday games. All eyes are on Yusei Kikuchi on Tuesday night. The lefty was horrendous in his first season in Toronto and made his 3-year, $36 million deal look like a terrible mistake. Besides finishing in the first percentile in hard hit rate, exit velocity, and barrel rate, he also ranked in the 3rd percentile for walk rate. The bottom line is it was a year to forget, and that's exactly what Kikuchi did. Instead of his normal offseason routine of going home to Japan and taking time off, he stayed in the country and went right to film. Kikuchi explained he spent time watching his outings and motion, but used most of his time watching Clayton Kershaw, Julio Urias, Max Fried, and Shane McClanahan, some of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball. But that's not all, as Kikuchi developed a new pitch that Kevin Gausman described as a curveball slider-ish type thing, and it was downright filthy in spring training. It became his new go-to pitch, and that led to Kikuchi having the lowest earned run average and the most strikeouts of any pitcher in spring training. In 20.2 innings, the southpaw had a 0.87 earned run average with 31 strikeouts. A new Kikuchi was born. Similarly to Kikuchi, Chris Bubic was dreadful in 2022. He ranked in the 2nd percentile in XBA, 3rd percentile in expected earned run average, 7th percentile in hard hit, and well, you get the idea. The lefty ranked 348 out of 358 qualified pitchers in batting average allowed at .304, and just like Kikuchi, he struggled with walks. His control continued to be a problem in spring training with 7 walks in 10.1 innings, and that could be his biggest weakness against a patient and powerful Blue Jays lineup. And while many pitchers look forward to being at home, Bubic never found a rhythm at Kauffman Stadium in 2022. He was 1-6 with a 5.8 earned run average and allowed opponents to hit .293 with a .812 OPS. Bubic will face a Toronto lineup that has faced one lefty this season, Jordan Montgomery, and tagged him for 3 runs and 6 hits in 5 innings while having a .321 XBA. I'm putting a lot of faith in Kikuchi, but if he can continue his spring training success, there's no reason the Blue Jays can't take care of business in this game. So the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Toronto went over the total in 2 of their 3 games to start the weekend. The Blue Jays and Cardinals combined for 19 runs in the opener Thursday, followed by 13 runs in Sunday's contest to push those games over the total. Those games sandwiched a 5-run total in the middle game of the series. Kansas City stayed under the total in 2 of their first 3 games of the season. Thursday and Saturday's games each saw just 2 runs on the board before Sunday's contest had a total of 11 runs in what seemed to be an offensive bonanza, with a pair of pitchers that looked good in the spring but who posted earned run averages above 5 last season. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Braves vs. St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals will start a 3-game set with the Atlanta Braves this Monday from Busch Stadium. Atlanta won Game 1 last night after leading throughout the contest, 8-4. Atlanta is 82-38 in their last 120 games overall and 35-17 in their last 52 games against a team with a left-handed starter, while the over is 26-9-3 in their last 38 games against a team with a winning record. St. Louis is 2-5 in their last 7 games overall and 2-5 in their last 7 home games, while the over is 4-1 in their last 5 games against the National League East. Dylan Dodd could end up becoming Atlanta's 2023 version of Spencer Strider, but this isn't an ideal first-game test. With St. Louis coming off a loss, I feel good trusting them to win this game at home against a first-year pitcher. Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, and company should be able to muster up enough offense here, so back the Cards here at home. So the St. Louis Cardinals moneyline ISO are full-game side pick. In my opinion, we get to see the game's 2 best offenses square off to begin the week as the Atlanta Braves are headed to St. Louis to face the Cardinals in a 3-game series. We all know the Braves have explosive bats, headlined by Ronald Acuna Jr., Austin Riley, and Matt Olson, but their depth is rather impressive. Yesterday they had new catcher acquisition Sean Murphy in the 8-hole, an extreme luxury given his talents. Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris III, Travis Darnaud, Marcell Ozuna, and Orlando Arcia round out a lethal group. The Cardinals lineup competes well with the Braves on paper, headlined by perennial MVP candidates in Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. Brendan Donovan, Tommy Edman, and Lars Nootbaar give the lineup fantastic bat-to-ball skills at the top of the order, while young sluggers like Jordan Walker, Tyler O'Neill, and Nolan Gorman are getting great pitches to hit. Wilson Contreras is an enormous offensive upgrade behind the plate and lengthens their lineup even further. The pitching matchup is an interesting one, with the veteran Charlie Morton facing off against reliever-turned-starter Jake Woodford. Morton had an up-and-down season last year, posting a healthy 28.2% strikeout rate and pitching 172 innings, but ranking 15th percentile in barrel rate and generating ground balls at a career low rate. His 39.6% ground ball rate is worrisome for someone who made a living off generating timely ground balls in the past. Woodford is making the transition to a starting role this season with the injuries to the Cardinals staff, but doesn't figure to go much more than 5 innings. While he had 7 strikeouts in his final exhibition start, at the MLB level he has just a 15.9% strikeout rate across 137 innings pitched. If Woodford isn't able to carry over his strikeout success from the spring, he could be in for a long outing against a Braves lineup that loves to mash. I don't have a side in this matchup, but lean towards the over with these high-powered offenses. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.